Hey guys, it's another week and time for another story for this week. I have tried for virtually years trying to figure out why people, perfect strangers, will simply come up to me and just talk about anything and everything. I can get on an elevator at one of the conferences where I'm speaking, get on the elevator like on the 10th floor and with somebody, and by the time we get down to the bottom floor, basically I know everything there is to know about that person, why they're at the hotel, how long they're staying, if they're married, if they're happily married, if they're having problems, how many kids they have. And I really don't ask a lot of questions. It's almost as if I have a little invisible sign on my forehead that says, you can talk to me about anything, I'll listen. I have found that people really want to talk. I actually had at two separate conferences. It's the craziest thing in the world. But at two separate conferences, I've actually had two different people come up to me after a presentation and tell me that they were having sexual difficulties with their husbands. And I'm looking at them like, in my head, I'm going, what do you want me to do with that? And the session that I had just presented had nothing to do with sexuality, but they felt that they could tell me that. I don't know why, but they did. It's just amazing to me. People will talk about anything and everything. I actually was flipping through TV and saw a Jerry Springer advertisement, and there was a couple on there. It was a brother and sister, and they were telling the world that they had had sex with each other. And I looked at that, I'm thinking, well, even if that were true, why in the world would you get on TV and tell a bunch of people about it? I travel a great deal. Y'all know that. And usually my last stop is Knoxville, Tennessee. That's home for me. And it was late at night. As always, the planes were late, delayed great extent. So we got into Knoxville, Tennessee about 12:30 at night. Now, just to let you know that my schedule pre-pandemic is pretty crazy. I can actually speak at three different conferences in one particular week. So basically, what I do is leave Monday morning, fly into the location, do my presentation at whatever conference it is, and then leave that night, fly out to the next location. And I'm with people all the time. So when I get on that final plane, especially from Atlanta to Knoxville, bringing me home, the very last thing that I want to do is talk to someone. It's not that I'm not nice. Hopefully, if you know me, you know that I am, but I just don't want to talk to anybody. So all the flights are delayed. We get into Knoxville, Tennessee about 12:30, a little after midnight. And there's probably about 100 people that got off the plane with me. So we're all standing around the baggage place, waiting for our luggage to come out the conveyor belt. And I'm keeping my head down because I really think that if I don't make eye contact with someone, that hopefully they won't talk to me. So I'm standing there right at the chute where the suitcases are spit out. And I'm standing there and I'm keeping my head down. And peripherally, at the total end of the other end of the conveyor belt, I see this lady, and in my heart, I just know that out of all this 100 people, she's going to come over and she's going to talk to me. And I'm thinking, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to get my suitcase and I want to go home. And I keep my head down. I keep my head down, and I'm thinking, don't look at her, don't look at her. But I see movement. I see that she's moving, and up under my eyelids, I see that she's coming around, and she's slowly making her way around. And I'm thinking to myself, she's going to come. She's going to stand right by you, Kat. She's going to talk to you. You know she is. You just know she is. Out of all those 100 people. So sure enough, she ends up right by my side. I still got my head down. I'm thinking, don't look at her, don't look at her. You won't have to talk to her. And she finally says, I had the greatest week. And in my heart, I'll be honest, I'm thinking, I really don't care. But I certainly didn't say that. I looked at her, I said, you did? And she said, yeah. And she said, I got to visit with my first grandchild. Now, I'm telling you what I wanted to say is I don't really care. But you know, I didn't. Those of you who know me know I turned to her and I said, got any pictures? She pulled out that phone and she had to show me that baby. And at 12:30 in the morning, I was looking at those pictures and I was oohing and ahhing and I was giving her that attention. And it made her feel wonderful. No matter how I felt, it made her feel wonderful. And I'll be honest with you, it made me feel wonderful too, seeing that new life in the baby and the sheer joy that she had. Y'all, people are just desperate to make a connection with anybody and to know that they matter to somebody else. This week, I'm going to try extra hard to give people my full attention and focus in conversation. I'm going to understand that people do need to know that what they're saying or what is happening in their lives is important to someone else, that they themselves are important and that they should be given attention. I'm going to let them know that they matter. Won't you join me just for this week?